Welcome to this session on safe and continuous development in ServiceNow. In this presentation, we will cover why you should use DevOps and typical challenges it can help you solve, how to use DevOps in ServiceNow, and we will show you a demo on how we in the Cloud People are using DevOps in our daily work. We will end by giving you some benefits and business outcomes. I will start by giving you a quick introduction to who the Cloud People is if you don't already know us. The main speaker in this session will be Alwin Rowlands, a solution consultant based in Stavanger, Norway. Alwin is originally from the UK and has several years of experience in working with ServiceNow, including daily operation management, continuous development, as well as migrations to the platform. My name is Nora Rinnan, and I am responsible for marketing in the Cloud People. Before I hand over to Alwin, I will shortly introduce the company. The Cloud People was created by a group of people who have been working with the world's leading cloud solutions since their appearance. We have seen the lack of skilled cloud consultants in the current market, and with the expected growth on the ServiceNow and Google platforms, the challenge of missing resources will increase significantly. This is the reason for why we are now building a team of cloud consultants. The idea is to offer a new way of staffing your project, which we have called smart resourcing. We make sure to use the right capability on the right task, which will give you high-quality teams of consultants to a reasonable price. Our customers have full transparency of the grading and prices of the consultants, and can choose among advisors, architects, consultants, and project managers on-site or nearshore. All our employees are background checked, have the necessary certifications, and are frequently evaluated through CSATs. Our culture and vision being better together is helping creating an alliance between our customers and the team. The Cloud People offers services on the Google Cloud and ServiceNow platform. On the Now platform, we cover everything from advisory services, licenses, implementation and migration, training, AMS agreements, and application development services. Our main differentiator from other partners is our smart resourcing concept. Through our pool of global resources, we will establish a team who work efficiently together, know each other, and have well-established communication routines. The customer will have one local point of contact who is managing the rest of the team. By using the right capability on the right task, you will get high quality and cost-efficient premises. With this quick introduction, I will hand over to my colleague Alwin, who will tell you more about DevOps in ServiceNow.
Thank you, Nora. Digital transformation is driving the adoption of DevOps models, but organizations are struggling to scale them and see the value DevOps can deliver. Small teams are making progress, however. The overall delivery lifecycle is not speeding up and reliability problems remain. There is often a mismatch in the needs of the enterprise and the operating model of individual teams. ServiceNow finds that often companies see no increase in release frequency, and on average it can take 23 days or more before a change may be approved. Developers can spend less than 4 hours a day writing code and spend the majority of their time on repeat, low-value add work instead of market-differentiating business features. Not good. Audits can take up to 3 FTE weeks to perform. ServiceNow provides the tools to automate the enterprise and overcome these challenges. After interacting with many customers, ServiceNow has found a consistent theme in what they want overall from a DevOps perspective. The need for speed and governance is critical to the adoption of DevOps for enterprise customers. Many are in heavily regulated industries, but most companies are developing content under some kind of formal regulation, such as privacy, information, security, health, and payments. Technology must not slow down DevOps. You can build pipelines to release code into production in seconds. However, if you are not following some aspect of change management, you can run the risk of causing outages, with Gartner estimating unplanned outages costing $5,600 a minute or $300,000 per hour on average. Keeping companies from introducing risk into their production environment while still harnessing the speed and agility that DevOps brings to an organization is the fine balance that every company faces today. So, customers overall want to manage risk while going fast. not making developers furious. ServiceNow is a bridge between speed and agility of DevOps and the safety and assurance of regulations. DevOps supports developers by increasing their productivity and reduce waiting time for changes to be approved. Developers get support to prepare for and execute an increasing volume of changes to production in an agile manner, while retaining the assurance large organizations need, which are delivered by a change management process. Through insights and analytics, developers can better understand their performance and the value they generate for the business, as well as understand what is happening to their code once in production. DevOps supports operations by mitigating the risks associated with deploying changes into production and maintaining service health. Incoming changes are transparent and visible to ops teams, so small-scale failures can be addressed quickly and insight rapidly given to root cause analysis of any major incidents a deployment may have caused, facilitating in turn efficient resolution. This, combined with ServiceNow's ITSM and ITOM modules, allows organizations to mitigate the associated risks when deploying to production and also supports service recovery should those risks manifest into issues. With all data being stored on the same ServiceNow platform, whether from the ideation of a new feature or an unplanned outage and its resolution, reports can be run to show auditors a complete chain of custody and fulfill compliance obligations. Compliance these days has never been more important, yet audits represent a significant cost and effort which requires manual data gathering and reporting. Through change authorization policies, an organization can enforce and automate complete data collection for validation during the development lifecycle, instead of manually scrambling to prepare for audits and identify gaps in data at the last minute. One major benefit of ServiceNow DevOps solution is the ability to internally align and communicate the value of working DevOps practice. We see that speeding up the change management process needs to be a business imperative in a rapidly changing world. Your end customers are accustomed to rapidly evolving software solutions on the business-to-customer side, and they are seeking the same level of user experience also in the internal or business-to-business markets. Furthermore, the managing development and release into production should not be underestimated in its complexity, especially so when multiple teams using different tool sets are working together, delivering different products for its common goals. Toolchains are complex and varied, but it's expensive in terms of development downtime to force everyone into a single toolchain. The answer is to use what you already have and adjust over time. ServiceNow connects to key industry-wide DevOps tools already in use today, providing out-of-the-box integrations ranging from planning tools like Jira or ServiceNow ITBM, through to code repositories like GitHub and Bitbucket, and pipeline tools like Jenkins. ServiceNow lets developers utilize information from that toolchain to automate the creation of a change request in ServiceNow, initiating the assurance path. Without requiring developers to swivel chair, they don't have to enter anything in ServiceNow. This alone has implications for major savings in developer productivity. We can also use change management policies to automate the change approval process. A risk and fact-based assessment can ensure the safe, automatic approval of large proportion of changes. Manual human approvals can be retained and combined with these policies if desired. The data gathered allows for new insights across multiple teams and DevOps tools chains. A key use for this data is for auditing, which becomes a one-button action linking all the way from ideation to production instead of a manual integration and a data gathering process that can take multiple person weeks of effort. If developers could choose, they would probably develop on top of Google Cloud because the tools are extremely developer-friendly. If managers and business stakeholders are faced with this question, they should base their decision on the fact that Google Cloud will offer lower TCO and a higher return on investment compared to the competition. Google Cloud is currently a challenger in the market, but the level of investment that we see as a Google partner is unprecedented. We see more customers are switching to Google Cloud Platform and reaping the multiplied benefits of using ServiceNow and Google together compared to using either alone. Here at The Cloud People, we use a combination of tools for developing our own internal ERP, Cloudia. We combine the strengths of ServiceNow, Google, and Jenkins to deliver value greater than the sum of each tool does individually. Jenkins is a flexible open source automation server used to automate tasks relating to building, testing, and deploying code, and support continuous development. We employ Google Cloud, specifically Kubernetes, to deploy Jenkins, mid-server, and test tool environments, and support CI/CD processes and find it very cost-effective. Our Bitbucket repository mirrors our GCP source repository, which simplifies running GCP cloud builds and deploying Docker images. We delegated the build process to GCP Cloud Build to optimize our building costs without having to maintain our own build servers. In this demo, the developer has set up a pipeline in Jenkins with the objective of testing and deploying his code from his own sandbox to a common development environment used by him and his team. Jenkins is used to trigger the job towards Google Cloud Platform. Once triggered, the developer monitors progress in Jenkins. Jenkins gathers all required information from GCP, mainly confirmation that the runtime environment has been prepared, before Jenkins in turn creates a change request in ServiceNow. In this case, the process can take up to 10 minutes before Jenkins creates the change record. If we go to ServiceNow, we can quickly locate the corresponding change record. It is here where the data is automatically gathered for change validation and approval as part of this process, as well as for future audits. Let's open the record to see the details. Here, the developer gets a short summary of his change in the description and what is happening. The DevOps pipeline is also visualized in ServiceNow, and the platform presents the developer with a simple dashboard to help him monitor progress. So far, everything looks good and is progressing smoothly. Note the cool green telling us to relax. The ServiceNow pipeline mirrors the Jenkins pipeline, so different teams are given the same real-time status on progress. We can also see who needs to approve the change. Here, we simulate a scenario where a change manager needs to evaluate and approve a change before submitting to the CAB. Though ServiceNow DevOps can automate change approvals with change approval policies on condition that these policies are met, it is still possible to retain manual human approvals, just in case. With time, we recommend that policies be created to automate those simple, regular, low-risk changes and let your change managers focus on more complex changes where an additional level of human oversight might be preferred. We'll approve this change ourselves for the purposes of this demo. Now, the change goes to the CAB for final approval. Again, we will assume the role of one of the CAB members to give CAB approval. Note that CAB approval can also be set up to progress a change on the approval of one member of the CAB or the CAB as a whole, whichever suits your processes. Once approved in ServiceNow, the change needs to be implemented. The change is marked to state implement, and work can begin. Once marked in implement status, this will be reflected in the pipeline UI in ServiceNow, where we can see the next step is now in progress, this time in yellow. It might be worth keeping an eye on that. Let's see what Jenkins has to say. Here we see Jenkins got the message that the change has been approved, and it has already told GCP to execute the work. Look, we can see the confirmation in Jenkins here, and Jenkins tells GCP to proceed with execution. Nothing strange here, so let's leave the job to finish running. Back in ServiceNow, DevOps offers a range of dashboards to give you insight into the DevOps team's performance, how often and when commits are made, the quality of deployments, change acceleration, mainly the time between requesting a change and its eventual approval and implementation, and also filter DevOps metrics by each code repository, depending on how you want to organize and categorize your code across systems and teams. And now the moment you've been waiting for, business outcomes. ServiceNow has seen a lot of cool things happen when organizations have adopted DevOps. Automating audit data collection saves time and money, not to mention headaches by enforcing collection during the change process rather than after the fact. Time is also saved by the developers letting them get on with coding and handling those tricky changes. DevOps also increases the volume and frequency of changes being approved, collating all the needed info in one place for evaluation and cleaning the way for IT to adapt and changes in parallel with the business. By adopting DevOps, there are many gains to be made in terms of productivity, quality, and efficiency. Foremost among them is improved communication between Dev and Ops, breaking down the wall of confusion and establishing transparency of what changes are being considered, scheduled, and deployed. Teams can also see the quality of commits and the number of commits and non-commits. DevOps supports auditors with the logging of development activities, including branch, commit details, and committers during the change process.
Thank you so much, Alwin. This is what we had for you around DevOps today, but we would love to share more on this topic if you're interested. Please reach out to us if you want to book a meeting, or feel free to visit our webpage. follow our LinkedIn channel, or sign up for our newsletter to make sure you stay up to date on ServiceNow related topics. Thank you so much for watching.